Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Broken Sword 5, the Serpent's Curse. Let's continue. So, we need to go attack Bijou. Or question her, because apparently either her or Lene is lying.
Bijou, it's George again.
She says something different this time. So,
the air was heavy with incense and alcohol. Reminded me of the old alma mater.
things are different, the record's broken,
What happened?
George, please help me. I'm lost.
So we can see the broken
There
record,
was a smashed record on the floor.
which I'm happy for that. I didn't really want to have to listen to that all over again.
The joss sticks had finally burned down, but the air was still thick with incense. Bijou had been at the champagne in a big way.
So let's question her. I suppose either she's gonna pass out or leave. But let's start with this.
Oh, help me. You must help me.
What's wrong, Bijou?
I can't play our song. I've lost Henri and now our song.
You mean the record? How did it happen?
I stumbled and trod on it by mistake.
Okay. Let's ask about the song.
What song was it, Bijou?
I'm lost without it. Lost.
The name of the song, Bijou.
Jasmine. It was our song.
I'll see what I can do.
So we probably could find a copy of that, but let's ask about the provenance.
Lane tells me you've got the provenance. That you did all the paperwork for the gallery.
Oh dear. My head is going round and round and round.
So she's not even
Bijou,
gonna answer.
I need to know.
All the papers are in the safe. In the gallery office. Stop asking all these questions.
Look, Bijou, I brought Henri's glasses.
Oh, Henri, what will I do without you?
Where's the
Bijou,
key?
Where's the key to the safe?
Henri? You're not Henri. I'm keeping the key just like Henri asked.
Could I borrow that key, please?
Oh, I need my tune. Nothing else matters.
I couldn't get any sense out of her in that state. I had to find a way to get the safe key.
See, again, this feels like a stretch puzzle. An added puzzle for no reason. Let's see if we can give it a whiskey.
She'd had enough to drink already.
Nope. And then this
I
one.
didn't think there was much point.
And
Bijou wasn't in any state to make sense.
I don't think I'm gonna do any more of these.
Does this smell good to you?
Henri, is that you, my sweet?
Who sang the song?
My darling Henri, of course. You got to number 2 in the Swedish charts. I was so proud. Get me another one, George. Oh, please tell me you will.
I guess I can try.
Oh, you're a darling.
Am I gonna have to go all the way back to London?
I was anything but a darling. All I was really after was the key to the safe.
I wonder if I am gonna have to go all the way back to London to get another record.
There was no reaction from Bijou. Eine kleine Nachtmusik was clearly not what she wanted to hear.
So this music box doesn't even have anything to do with
an
anything?
antique music box. Fifi had pride of place on the table. Its little face reminded me of Henri. Its coat even matched his hair. Some dogs really do look like their owners. Fifi had pride of its little face.
So same thing twice in a row. Let's see if we can do this with this.
That would be pointless.
I figured it would be funny.
That was never going to happen.
Alright. And glasses on coffin?
That wasn't worth trying.
So we travel here, and I'm exhausted, sighing. I guess we're going back here? Ah, I can't even go here. And I can't go here either. So the only place I can go is Vera Security and see if maybe he has... Bassam has a record for us. Which... That was my fear, is that this stall was going to end up being the central location where we get everything. If they don't have a better place to put it. So, what do you got?
Any other bargains?
Not since you last asked.
Bassam wouldn't want to see that. Bassam wouldn't want to see that.
So, yeah, I don't have
Thank
anything here. We have a stall.
I had a closer look at Bassam's stock.
Check it out, George. I've had quite a stock update, and I've got to say the metrics on some of this stuff is startling.
So we now have spools of thread, musical Greek cards, books, and pots. It's very strange that all of a sudden the game changed like this.
There was a stack of books, but all in Greek from the looks of it.
Let's just look at everything.
What are those things?
Oil pots, all empty.
Nice selection of sandwiches you have.
That's actually my lunch, George.
Bobbins and threads. The stock range on the stall was impressive.
So the musical greeting cards.
They looked interesting. A stack of those cards that play music when you open them.
Be very funny if one of them turns out to
They
be
looked interesting.
what we
A stack of
needed.
those cards that play music when you open them.
So now can we
George,
buy
what can I
something?
do for you?
Ah, yes we can.
Does one of your cards play the song Jasmine?
Sounds familiar. Let me check the database. I think that's by the Hairy Lobsters.
Bassam certainly knew his stock.
Database, all he did was rub
Here
his
it is.
head.
How much?
It's yours, if you mention my shop to 3 other people.
Done. Thanks. Any other bargains?
Not since you last asked.
So,
Thank
a
you.
pointless side quest here. Which makes me worry that we're going to end up into a longer conversation section again. After the first time of getting through this door, they needed to either automatically just have the actions occur that it gets unlocked for you,
The door was locked.
or just ignore the fact that it was locked in the first place.
Bijou, it's George again.
Or, you know, you might even have George say, I rigged the door so it will stay unlocked no matter what. That would be a smart move. So we don't have to see the same animation of getting buzzed up. Alright, so musical card to Bijou.
How about this card? It plays the tune.
We didn't even test it ourselves.
Oh, how wonderful. Dance with me, Henri.
I'm not Henry, but... She's either high or drunk.
I found myself at Bijou's well-equipped dressing table.
Ah, and it seems like we are now supposed to make ourselves look like this.
I added Henri's glasses. I looked more and more like a gallery owner. Time to bring Henri back to life. Henri had more facial hair than me. I needed a brown goatee.
Let's see, well... we've got several different things
That
we could do.
wouldn't make any sense.
Alright, brown goatee. Is that this? Nail varnish, photo of Henry.
Henri and I had a similar build, but how can I disguise my classic Stobbart good looks? For starters, Henri's hair was darker than mine.
Brown
I didn't
eyeshadow.
want it on my eyes, but perhaps a slight dusting. My hair was now the same color as Henri's. Looking good, but not quite there yet. I needed to flower power my outfit.
Flower wax strips.
I grabbed a strip. Prepare for wax.
See, blue tip brush.
How about a little blue?
Rouge
I daubed
brush.
some rouge on my cheeks.
I think I'm adding things that aren't actually necessary.
Hairbrush. I prefer a comb myself. I wondered if red was my color.
Well, and I guess tissues would reset everything.
My hair was already covered in this stuff. Bijou used a pungent flowery scent. I didn't want it on me.
Okay. So best as I can tell, what we're going to end up doing is using the wax strips on
I
the
cleaned my
stuffed
face before
dog.
getting up.
How this musical card is playing as loud, I don't know, but whatever.
Sorry, Fifi.
So here goes Fifi's
I'll
hair.
see you in Rio.
Now I need some flower power. So are there any flowers here I can grab?
I didn't want to mix Mozart with hairy lobsters. Fifi had pride of place on the table. Its little face reminded me of Henri. Its coat even matched his hair. Some dogs really do look like their owners.
So let's take the white flower from him.
Stealing a flower from a corpse. How low had I sunk?
So it looks like now we've probably got everything. So let's try that again. This is one of those puzzles that aren't terrible, but they do require you to leave. And you... Ideally, I would prefer the game to say, I don't think we have everything I need.
I added Henri's flower to my buttonhole. The jasmine definitely gave me that perfect hippie vibe. It was working, but I needed something else. Henri had more facial hair than me.
We're getting a little bit of hints here.
Goatee.
But all it said was I needed a brown goatee.
With my mouth firmly closed, I added the wax strip to my upper lip. Instant goatee. Looking good, but not quite there yet. Henri's hair was
That
darker
looks
than mine.
ridiculous.
Getting there, but I needed a little more. It was hard to see the color of Henri's eyes behind the glasses.
I don't know why it would be. Clearly his glasses are so low you can see the color of his eyes just fine.
I added Henri's glasses. I looked more and more like a gallery owner. Looking good, but not quite there yet.
What more?
I had the outfit exactly, but I needed something extra to ensnare the senses. I added Henri's Brett to my disguise, made my eyes water. There. As I looked into the mirror, I saw Henri looking back at me.
Henri, there you are.
Not a terrible puzzle, but it feels like we should have picked up this item somewhere else in gameplay. Like everything except for that.
Isn't this wonderful? Just like old
Look, I can even skip this cutscene. Okay. Huge waste of animation budget here. I have a feeling that somebody at Revolution Software wrote this song. And if there was ever a part where episode 1 would end, I would think this has got to be it.
Darling, I need the safe key. Do you have it?
Of course. Didn't I promise? Here it is, sweetie.
Better let her sleep. I had the key. And besides, I wanted to get my hands on that letter of provenance.
And then back to the gallery.
I was surprised to see Father Simeon at the cafe.
He still hasn't played a big enough role for
George,
anything to matter.
A moment, if you please.
Is everything all right, Father?
We're finally going to get some actual backstory on
No, my son.
the painting.
Not at all. Great evil is upon us. That sketch you showed me in the gallery, the study from La Maledictio. It showed an image hidden inside the Ouroboros. A dangerous image.
Dangerous?
The symbol represents a heresy, an object that the Gnostics call the Tabula Veritatis.
The Tablet of Truth?
It is a tablet of lies, a tool of Lucifer.
So, no longer are we chasing after this painting, now we're looking for this tablet, I suppose. At some point, I thought we were given a Ouroboros necklace, and yet that hasn't shown up in our inventory at all, so I guess the old man just let us see it and then took it back.
Tell me more about this Tabula Veritatis.
It is an artifact capable of undoing the whole of creation. It was smuggled out of the Holy Land millennia ago and brought to Europe by the Cathars, an evil Gnostic cult. In 1209, the Church launched a glorious crusade in the Cathar heartlands of southern France. We wiped out almost all the Cathars, and with them, the evil that is Gnosticism. My order, the Dominicans, were formed at that time to seek out and eradicate any remaining Gnostics. But we failed in our primary objective. We did not find the Tabula Veritatis. We presumed it lost, but the painting suggests it is still in Gnostic hands.
So, it's always worth pointing out here that if you really want to know the truth behind the Gnostics and all of this, don't trust a video game. I assume that there is a small foundation of truth upon which a giant castle of fiction has been built to tell this tale. Same with the first game, The Shadow of the Templars, and all of that. So don't take anything you see in fiction. The truth is always an important thing to remember.
How is La Maledictio connected to all this?
I believe it contains clues that point to the location of the tablet. Clues constructed for a Gnostic to solve. If someone were to decrypt the painting and find the tabula veritatis, who knows what evil would be unleashed upon the world?
I've never heard of a tabula veritatis, so that may be a made-up thing.
So, you're suggesting that this image of the tabula veritatis is hidden in the Ouroboros on the painting?
It is obvious now. The Ouroboros is a symbol of the Gnostics, and the tree it contained symbolized knowledge, hidden Gnostic knowledge.
And then he introduced the Cathars, who we don't know who those are.
I still don't get why the Gnostics are so evil.
They see God as simply the creator of the physical world, and revere Lucifer as the lord of the spiritual realm.
Wow. So, the Gnostics are nothing but evil?
Indeed. Do not let their silver tongues fool you. Their teachings hold nothing but damnation.
Were the Cathars all killed?
All that came forward to fight, but like a weed, their roots were deep. We did not fully destroy their evil.
What's so terrible about this tablet? What does it do?
Like Lucifer himself, the Gnostics could be anywhere. We must talk somewhere more private.
Thank you, Father. That was some story.
You think he's a Gnostic, the
God is
waitress,
knowledge.
the waiter?
There are those who would do anything to find the tabula.
Please excuse me. I have to get back to the gallery.
I will remain here and follow you when no one is looking. I have more I must tell you.
I had to get into the gallery and find the provenance, but I was really looking forward to hearing what else Father Simeon had to tell me.
So, it would be interesting if Father Simeon got murdered while I was in the other room. That would at least put some twist on
The door
it.
was locked.
How am I gonna get in here?
The office looked quiet. The office looked quiet.
Well, does my key unlock the door? I bet it does. Now, is there anything...
I didn't have time to stand around. I had to find the provenance.
Can't do anything with the plug now.
Time to look in the safe.
I suppose it's very possible that some players wouldn't have realized what
I
a
opened
safe
the
was.
compartment again.
And runtime error. The game crashed again, which puts it at crash number 6 or 7. That is way too much. Way too much. Like, I can't even for a second think that this is my fault that the game is crashing. I have a GTX 970 that does have some problems on some games of hitching in some engines, specifically Lego games and Resident Evil games, both of which have problems elsewhere too. But this is a point-and-click adventure that barely has anything, and it's not giving me errors like that. It's giving me completely different errors. Very generic Windows 95 pop-up errors.
The ring had an inscription. Henri and Bijou forever.
He was gonna marry her? Okay.
Henri had bought Bijou a big diamond ring. I had a feeling the ring would be useful.
For cutting glass, probably. So at this point, he actually is just stealing things.
A note was attached to the front of a document wallet. It read, "Cherie, this should do the trick. Your darling Wilfie." Now, why would Hobbs be sending romantic little notes to Bijou?
Because
that had
they
to
were
be the
both
elusive Provenance.
sleeping with Bijou.
It
Maybe they
clearly
knew
stated
about
that
it too.
Badowski was the owner, but I'd learned never to take things at face value. I had to take a closer look at this. At first glance, the Provenance looked authentic, but something wasn't right.
And now we're on this table. And we were at this table before, and there was a ridiculous amount of items you could click on, like the lighter, the thumbtacks, the tape, the eraser, and we couldn't click on any of them. Well, we could click on them, but we couldn't do anything with them. Now we can't even click on them. There's a coffee stain here. Hobbs' note.
The two documents didn't match. The two documents didn't match.
Verisign security.
Didn't match.
Like this here and this here is coffee stains, but that hardly proves anything, does it? I can't open any more drawers.
A list of previous owners all the way back to the 30s. A letterhead from a fancy London auction house and Lane's signature. It certainly looked the part. The handwritten note read, "Cherie, this should do the trick. Your darling Wilfie." Seemed like Hobbs and Bijou were on quite intimate terms. The two documents didn't match. The two documents didn't match.
I have no idea what I'm even supposed to be doing here. And there's no coming out of this either. Like, the zoom out arrow is missing, so the game is trying to tell me something here. It's trying to say you've got everything you need. But
a list of previous owners all the way back to the 30s. A letterhead from a fancy London auction house. It certainly looked the part.
None of these circles. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna have to use a hint. I'm going to have to, because there's nothing else on the screen at all. And unless I'm supposed to nail clip it
Felt odd.
or use
that
this
wouldn't
on
help
it.
explain why the provenance felt odd.
Feels odd. Burn
That
it.
wouldn't help explain why the provenance felt odd. The two documents didn't match. The completion note from Vera's security. That wouldn't help explain why the provenance felt odd. That wouldn't help explain why the provenance felt odd.
I don't even get it.
That wouldn't help explain why the provenance felt odd. That wouldn't help explain why the provenance felt odd.
They're giving me no hint
That
here.
wouldn't help explain why the provenance
And this
felt
is
odd.
on top of it crashing so much.
The sketch was drawn on similar paper to the provenance.
The sketch. That's what we needed. It's really not giving me any help.
Exactly, as did the tear. The provenance must have been created by Hobbs. It was a fake, which meant Medovsky wasn't the true owner.
That's gonna be hard to prove.
I had to get out there and find out what happened.
So that's gonna be real hard to prove just with that small bit of information. Notice we only have about 4 or 5 more slots at most, and then we're gonna either have to implement an arrow, or maybe we are close to the middle of the game and half of these things are gonna disappear. Did that compartment just close by itself, or did I just think it did? Oh no. Where are we on the save now? It feels like I very much called it that the Father Simeon would be murdered. And we went up 5%, we went up 4% here. It would be nice, frankly, if the game started in every 30-minute chunk unlocking more and more of a percentage. So we go maybe in an hour we get 10% done instead of 5%. And that way we can speed up this process, because it's been really slow. This game doesn't interest me or play well as an investigation. It's not really playing well as an adventure. It's not really playing well as a mystery. It's not really playing as much of anything. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.